Episode 57 BK January 4th, 2025 German political parties and lack of stances on wood-burning pollution. In episode 57 BK1 RAWSEP View Which German political party would best stop indoor residential wood burning? German political parties and their lack of stances on wood-burning pollution. Two definitions of the German political parties. 2A2 Europe Elon Musk accused of trying to weaken Europe with support for far-right AfD Party. 3 Christian Lindner of the Free Democratic Party FDP Lindner dismissal by SPD member and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz led to collapse of the German government and calling of a snap. German election set for February 2025 for Germany The CDU led by Friedrich Merz and the CSU sister organization. 5 Germany Green Party return to government. 6 Germany Social Democratic Party of Germany SPD. 7 The United Kingdom and Germany Elon Musk has a strange fixation with trolling Britain in a barrage of posts. Main content. 1 RAWSEP View Which German political party would best stop indoor residential wood burning? German political parties and their lack of stances on wood burning pollution. Although Germany designates wood burning as renewable and some coal burning plants have converted to even more polluting wood burning plants, Germany has some parties which stress environmentalism, which might result in those German parties ending future polluting wood burning. RAWSEP View 1A The Green Party of Germany is an environmentalist political party. It first won representation at the national level in 1983, and from 1998 to 2005 it formed a coalition government with the Social Democratic Party SPD. In 2021, the Greens posted their best ever performance in a federal election, claiming almost 15% of the vote. The Green Party traces its origins to the student protest movement of the 1960s, the environmentalist movement of the 1970s, and the peace movement of the early 1980s. The focus of the environmentalist protest was nuclear power, and the movement was directed especially at German labor and businesses. They are focusing on environmentalist and socially progressive policies. Emphasis is placed on mitigating climate change, reducing carbon emissions, and fostering sustainability and environmentally friendly practices. Their fiscal platform is flexible and seeks to balance social, economic, and environmental interests. RAWSEP View 1B The Social Democratic Party, the SPD, the environment and climate policy. In September 2019, Scholz negotiated the climate package in a key role for the SPD. To this he said, "What we have presented is a great achievement," whereas climate scientists almost unanimously criticized the result as insufficient. In August 2020, Scholz held a phone call with U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Steven Mnuchin discussing a lift of U.S. sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, one of 23 gas pipelines between Europe and Russia. In exchange, Scholz offered €1 billion in subsidies to liquid gas terminals in northern Germany for U.S. liquid gas imports. The move sparked controversy with regards to the SPD stance towards renewable energy. The revised Climate Protection Act introduced by Olaf Scholz' cabinet as mayor of Hamburg provides for a 65% reduction in CO2 emissions by 2030 and 88% reduction by 2040 and climate neutrality by 2045. Scholz has advocated for the expansion of renewable energy capacities to replace fossil fuels. In May 2021, Scholz proposed the establishment of an international climate club which should serve to develop common minimum standards for climate policy measures and a coordinated approach. In addition, uniform rules for the carbon accounting of goods should apply among members. As part of the coalition agreement that led to Scholz becoming chancellor, the Social Democrats, Free Democrats, and Green Party agreed to accelerate Germany phase out of coal to the year 2030 in line with the target set by the Powering Past Coal Alliance. The country's previous target had been to end the use of coal by 2038. In addition, the agreement set a phase-out of power generation from natural gas by 2040. The agreement also included provisions for the prohibition on natural gas heating in new buildings and replacement of natural gas systems in existing buildings, and ends to the sale of combustion vehicles would come in 2035 in line with the target set by the European Commission. 2 definitions of the German political parties. Encyclopedia Britannica online excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 non-profit organization. 2A1 Alternative for Germany AfD far right-wing German political party, founded in 2013, established during the rise of Euroscepticism. In the wake of the Eurozone debt crisis, the party has since adopted a platform based on German nationalism and Islamophobia. 2A2 Europe Fortune magazine Germany Elon Musk accused of trying to weaken Europe with support for far-right AfD party. January 2nd, 2025 Elon Musk listens as U.S. President-elect Donald Trump addresses a House Republicans conference meeting on Capitol Hill on November 13, 2024 in Washington, D.C. Musk has waded into German politics as a February election beckons. 2B Christian Democratic Union CDU German center-right political party that supports a free market economy and social welfare programs, but is conservative on social issues. The CDU has also been a strong advocate of European integration and has cultivated close relations with the United States while in government. The CDU, along with its Bavarian affiliate, the 2C Christian Social Union CSU, emerged out of the ashes of the Third Reich to become Germany's most successful political party, governing the Federal Republic of Germany for the first 2 decades after its founding and for most of the last 2 decades of the 20th century. 2C Christian Social Union CSU, conservative German political party that was founded in Bavaria, Germany in 1946 by various Roman Catholic and Protestant groups and is committed to free enterprise federalism and a united Europe operating under Christian principles. 2D Free Democratic Party FDP centrist German political party that advocates individualism, capitalism, and social reform. Although it has captured only a small percentage of the votes in national elections, its support has been pivotal for much of the post-World War II period in making or breaking governments by forming coalitions with or withdrawing support from larger parties. 2E Green Party of Germany German environmentalist political party. It first won representation at the national level in 1983, and from 1998 to 2005 it formed a coalition government with the Social Democratic Party SPD. In 2021 the Greens posted their best ever performance in a federal election, claiming almost 15% of the vote. The Green Party traces its origins to the student protest movement of the 1960s, the environmentalist movement of the 1970s and the peace movement of the early 1980s, the focus of the environmentalist protest was nuclear power, and the movement was directed especially at German labor and businesses. 2F Social Democratic Party of Germany, SPD, Germany oldest political party, and one of the country's two main parties, the other being the Christian Democratic Union. It advocates the modernization of the economy to meet the demands of globalization, but it also stresses the need to address the social needs of workers and society disadvantaged. 3. Christian Lindner of the Free Democratic Party FDP Lindner dismissal by SPD member and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz led to collapse of the German government and calling of a snap German election set for February 2025. Germany Wikipedia, January 4, 2025. FDP Christian Lindner of the Free Democratic Party RAWSEP View. The firing of FDP head Christian Lindner led to Olaf Scholz, Chancellor of Germany and member of SPD, calling snap German federal elections to be held February 2025. Excerpts from a Wikipedia article on Christian Lindner illuminates the positions of FDP and the possible reasons for Christian Lindner leaving the German government coalition. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP. For brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates of 501c3 nonprofit organization born 1979, age 45 in 2024. In October 2017, Angela Merkel Christian Democratic Union CDU and Katrin Göring-Eckardt and Sem Özdemir Green started negotiations with the Free Democratic Party FDP to form a government in which Lindner was widely seen as the future Minister of Finance. In November 2017 after midnight, Lindner and his party left the already prolonged negotiations after 4 unsuccessful weeks, which led to the longest government formation in German history, and finally in March 2018 once more to a grand coalition with the SPD, which had previously rejected any participation in the new government. RAWSEP View. After searching Wikipedia for definition of grand coalition, historically in Germany Grand Coalition in German Gross Coalition, shortened to German GroKo, is a nickname in German politics describing a governing coalition of the parties Christian Democratic Union CDU, along with its sister party, the Christian Social Union of Bavaria CSU, and the Social Democratic Party SPD. Since the three parties have historically been the major parties in most state and federal elections since 1949, the meaning of the term may change due to the growth of some formerly minor parties in recent years. RAWSEP, continuing with excerpts from the Christian Lindner article in Wikipedia. In 2021, Christian Lindner was re-elected federal chairman of the FDP with 93% of the vote, and at the same time was chosen as the party top candidate for the federal election. Christian Lindner, as federal minister of finance following the 2021 German federal election, the FDP agreed to enter government with the Greens and Social Democrats as part of a traffic light coalition led by Olaf Scholz. Traffic light red equals SPD, traffic light yellow equals FPD, traffic light green equals the Greens. Lindner was named as finance minister and took office on December 8, 2021 after the G7 countries announced that they would present strong sanctions against Russia. Lindner stated that they should target Russian oligarchs on the night of February 24, 2022, right after Russia started its invasion of Ukraine. Lindner, according to the ambassador of Ukraine in Germany, told Ukraine ambassador that Ukraine has only a few hours left, so he opposed arms supplies to Kiev and Russia disconnection from SWIFT. RAWSEP, excerpt from National Public Radio. After RAWSEP searched what is SWIFT? Answer from NPR. The US, Canada, and European allies are moving to cut off certain Russian banks from the SWIFT bank messaging system as part of a dramatic new round of sanctions meant to punish Russia for the ongoing invasion of Ukraine on May 17, 2022. Lindner said he is politically open to the idea of seizing the frozen foreign exchange reserves of the Central Bank of Russia, which amount to over $300 billion, to cover the costs of rebuilding Ukraine after the war. In August 2022, it was suggested that Lindner should strengthen the existing Federal Customs Office. To this day, there is no Federal Financial Criminal Investigation Office as suggested by Christian Lindner. RAWSEP View. The Christian Lindner suggestion of creating a new bureaucracy to fight financial crime may have been a political stunt rather than a financial necessity, as the article notes. The effectiveness of a similar measure remained to be seen in 2020. 3. RAWSEP, excerpt from eclear.com. After an online search for Federal Financial Criminal Investigation Office in Germany Customs Newsroom, August 11, 2023. New German Federal Authority BBF. Goodbye to money laundering. The Federal Ministry of Finance BMF plans to establish the higher Federal Authority BBF to fight financial crime. The aim is to eliminate Germany's reputation as a money laundering paradise. Measures such as an organized crime fighting center are planned. Nevertheless, the German real estate market remains a hot spot for money laundering. The Financial Action Task Force FATF criticizes Germany for its failures. Thereafter, the BMF reacts and wants to bundle competencies. The effectiveness of the measures remains to be seen. Experts criticize that the new agency lacks the authority to seizure suspicious assets by administrative order and the exclusion of tax-related offenses from its jurisdiction, according to a draft published until September 2023. RAWSEP, continuing with excerpts from the Christian Lindner article in Wikipedia. Lindner has been a staunch defender of the constitutionally enshrined debt break and seen as reluctant to agree another suspension in 2024. RAWSEP View is that the debt break in Germany appears to be similar to the debt limit in the United States, usually supported by United States conservatives as a way to argue for cutting social programs including Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security, among other social programs. RAWSEP View. Lindner in summer 2024 appeared to want to offer limited support to Ukraine. In July 2024, Lindner argued that Germany would need to have its aid to Ukraine. In August 2024, Lindner halted new aid to Ukraine, saying the aid would in future be supplied from the frozen funds in the west of the Russian central bank. Robert Habeck, among others, thought that this might stress the ruling coalition, and this had already impacted the promised deal RAWSEP system, which turned out not to have been funded by Germany after all, because of the restrictions put in place by Lindner. RAWSEP view of the deal RAWSEP system. After searching for it on Wikipedia, the RAWSEP infrared imaging system tail/thrust vector controlled is a family of short-range infrared homing air-to-air and short to medium-range surface-to-air missiles. It also is called AIM 2000. The missile was developed in the late 1990s, early 2000s by a German-led program to produce a short to medium-range infrared homing air-to-air missile to replace the AIM-9 Sidewinder in use by some NATO member countries at the time. A goal of the program was for any aircraft capable of firing the Sidewinder to also be capable of launching the RAWSEP. The air-to-air variant was fielded in 2005. RAWSEP, continuing with excerpts from the Christian Lindner article in Wikipedia. On November 6, 2024, Lindner dismissal was proposed by Olaf Scholz, citing loss of trust. On November 7, Christian Lindner was dismissed from office by the federal president Frank-Walter Steinmeier. Christian Lindner removal led to the collapse of the governing coalition with 2 other FDP members resigning from their ministries and a third minister leaving the FDP Germany Benzinga RAWSEP View. This article is an example of a Christian Lindner view, which is similar to support of cryptocurrency by Trump in the United States. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates of 501c3 non-profit organization. December 30th, 2024. European Central Bank should consider Bitcoin reserve. Former German Finance Minister Christian Lindner says Zinger key points. Christian Lindner, German FDP leader, urges ECB and Bundesbank to consider adding Bitcoin to reserve, citing GOP crypto position proposal follows U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve idea, highlighting growing recognition of crypto in global finance. Christian Lindner, the former German finance minister and current leader of the Free Democratic Party FDP, has called for the European Central Bank and the Bundesbank to consider adding cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. The new Trump administration is pursuing an extremely progressive policy on crypto assets like Bitcoin. For Germany, the CDU led by Friedrich Merz, and the CSU sister organization Wikipedia. January 4th, 2025. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity and relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates of 501c3 non-profit organization. Merkel era 2000 to 2018. Angela Merkel was the first female leader of the CDU and the third longest serving of the party overall after Kohl and Adenauer. Schäuble resigned in early 2000 as a result of a party financing scandal and was replaced by Angela Merkel, the first woman and the first person from East Germany to lead the federal party. She remained the leader of the CDU for more than 18 years. In the 2002 federal election and 2005 early elections were called after the CDU dealt the governing SPD a major blow, winning more than 10 state elections, most of which were landslide victories. The resulting grand coalition between the CDU/CSU and the SPD faced a serious challenge stemming from both parties' demand for the chancellorship. CDU received the chancellorship from Merkel while the SPD retained 8 of the 16 seats in the cabinet, and a majority of the most prestigious cabinet posts. Merkel was confirmed as the first female chancellor of Germany by the majority of delegates 397 to 217 in the newly assembled Bundestag on November 22, 2005. Since her first term in office from 2005 to 2009, there have been discussions if the CDU was still sufficiently conservative or if it was social democratizing. In March 2009, Merkel answered with the statement, "Sometimes I am liberal, sometimes I am conservative, sometimes I am Christian social, and this is what defines the CDU." Although the CDU/CSU lost support in the 2009 federal elections, their desired partner, the FDP, experienced the best election cycle in its history, thereby enabling a CDU/CSU FDP coalition. This marked the first change of coalition partner by a chancellor in German history and the first center-right coalition government since 1998. The decisions to suspend conscription late 2010 and to phase out nuclear energy shortly after the Fukushima disaster in 2011 broke with long-term principles of the CDU, moving the party into a more socially liberal direction. At its November 2011 conference, the party proposed a wage floor after having expressly rejected minimum wages. Asymmetric demobilization describes the CDU strategy, practiced in the 2009, 2013, and 2017 campaigns of adopting issues and positions close to its rivals as regarding social justice, SPD, and ecology. Greens, thus avoiding conflict. Some of the promises in the CDU 2013 election platform were seen as overtaking the SPD on the left. President Wolf resigned in February 2012 due to allegations of corruption, triggering an early presidential election. The CDU/CSU FDP coalition lasted until the 2013 federal election, when the FDP lost all its seats in the Bundestag, while the CDU and CSU won their best result since 1990, only a few seats short of an absolute majority. This was partly due to the CDU expansion of voter base to all socio-structural groups, class, age, or gender, partly due to the personal popularity of Chancellor Merkel. After talks with the Greens had failed, the CDU/CSU formed a new grand coalition with the SPD despite their long-cherished slogan of "there must be no democratically legitimized party to the right of CDU/CSU." The union has had a serious competitor to its right since 2013. The right-wing Populist Alternative for Germany (AfD) was founded with the involvement of disgruntled CDU members. It drew on the discontent of some conservatives with the Merkel administration handling of the European debt crisis 2009 to 2014. Nearly 10% of early AfD members were defectors from the CDU. In 2017, the Bundestag voted to legalize same-sex marriage. Merkel had allowed the conscience vote to happen. A number of CDU deputies supported it. In the 2017 election, the CDU and CSU lost a large portion of their vote share, with 26.8% of party list votes the CDU received. Its worst result since 1949, losing more than 50 seats in the Bundestag despite an enlargement of the parliament. After failing to negotiate a coalition with the FDP and Greens, they continued their grand coalition with the SPD. In October 2018, Merkel announced that she would step down as leader of the CDU that December 2018 and not seek re-election, but wanted to remain as chancellor until 2021. Post-Merkel 2018. To present in October 2024, CDU again became proponents of nuclear energy, advocating reactivation of closed reactors and construction of new plants. The party supports a business-friendly adaptation of the European Green Deal and would like to continue to allow vehicles with combustion engines, research synthetic fuels, and promote research into nuclear fusion. The party calls for EU member states to limit their annual borrowing to 3% of their gross domestic product. The CDU has governed in 4 federal level and numerous state-level grant coalitions with the Social Democratic Party SPD, as well as in state and local level coalitions with the Alliance 90/ the Greens. The CDU has an official party Congress adjudication that prohibits coalitions and any sort of cooperation with either the left or the alternative for Germany. AfD CDU officially prohibits any cooperation with the AfD, but does not clearly define what that means in the eastern federal states. However, there is ongoing tolerance for or cooperation of CDU with the right-wing radical AfD at the local end. District-level CDU leader Friedrich Merz took blowback for his political approaches to the AfD after he called his party in 2023 an alternative with substance. Political observers from abroad say that the CDU boundaries with the far right are eroding. 5 Germany Green Party return to government. Wikipedia, January 4, 2025. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 non-profit organization. 2021. To present, the Greens finished in third place in the 2021 federal election with 14.8% of votes. They entered coalition talks with the FDP and SPD, eventually joining a traffic-light coalition under Chancellor Olaf Scholz, which took office on December 8, 2021. The Greens have 5 ministers in the Scholz cabinet, including Robert Habeck as Vice Chancellor and Annalena Baerbock as Foreign Minister. Since party statute mandates that party leaders may not hold government office, Baerbock and Habeck stepped down after entering cabinet at a party conference in January 2022. Ricarda Lang and Omid Nouripour were elected to succeed them at the time of her election. Lang was 28 years old, Speaker for Women Issues, and a former leader of the Green Youth. Of the new leaders, Lang is considered a representative of the party left wing. Lang and Nouripour announced their resignations as party leaders in September 2024 after heavy defeats in the Saxony, Thuringia, and Brandenburg state elections that month. In all 3 states, governing coalitions involving the Greens were not returned, and the party was wiped out in the latter 2 states, while only narrowly retaining representation in Saxony. The party had fallen out of 5 state governments, additionally Berlin and Hesse, since entering the federal governing coalition in 2021. Analysts pointed to its participation in the federal government requiring it to take stances that are contrary to its traditional clean energy and pacifist ideals, as well as a stark collapse in support with young voters. Lang and Nouripour remain in office until successors are elected in November 2025. Ideology and platform. The party main ideological trends are green politics and social liberalism. The party has also been described as left, libertarian, and influenced by the post-materialist left. The party political position is generally described to be center-left, but there are also journalistic sources describing the party as centrist. The West German Greens played a crucial role in the development of green politics in Europe, with their original program outlining 4 principles: ecological, social, grassroots, and nonviolent. Initially ideologically heterogeneous, the party took up a position on the radical left in its early years, which were dominated by conflicts between the more left-wing fundamentalist and more moderate realist factions. These conflicts became less significant as the party moved toward the political mainstream in the 1990s. During the 2021 federal election, the WZV Berlin Social Science Center classified the party as the most centrist of Germany left-wing parties. However, Baerbock campaigned from the left of the SPD, stating that the party economic program is geared towards the common good, while the SPD no longer is. The party has a more pragmatic approach to workers' rights than the SPD. On the other hand, the party clearly holds positions to the left of the SPD on issues such as fiscal discipline, particularly on the debt brake, the climate transition, and property expropriation. In Berlin, they are focusing on environmentalist and socially progressive policies. Emphasis is placed on mitigating climate change, reducing carbon emissions, and fostering sustainability and environmentally friendly practices. Their fiscal platform is flexible and seeks to balance social, economic, and environmental interests. Starting from the leadership of Annalena Baerbock and Robert Habeck, Greens have a pragmatic, moderate approach to working with parties across the political spectrum. At the same time, the party has denounced populism and division and placed rhetorical emphasis on optimism and cross-party cooperation, accompanied by record-high popularity and election results. This led some to suggest that the Greens were filling a gap in the political center, which was left by the declining popularity of the CDU/CSU and SPD. 6 Germany Social Democratic Party of Germany, SPD. Wikipedia, January 4, 2025. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 non-profit organization. Environment and climate policy. In September 2019, Scholz negotiated the climate package in a key role for the SPD. To this he said, "What we have presented is a great achievement," whereas climate scientists almost unanimously criticized the result as insufficient. In August 2020, Scholz held a phone call with U.S. Secretary of the Treasury Steven Mnuchin discussing a lift of U.S. sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, one of 23 gas pipelines between Europe and Russia. In exchange, Scholz offered €1 billion in subsidies to liquid gas terminals in northern Germany for U.S. liquid gas imports. The move sparked controversy with regards to the SPD stance towards renewable energy. The revised Climate Protection Act, introduced by Olaf Scholz' cabinet as mayor of Hamburg, provides for a 65% reduction in CO2 emissions by 2030 and 88% reduction by 2040 and climate neutrality by 2045. Scholz has advocated for the expansion of renewable energy capacities to replace fossil fuels. In May 2021, Scholz proposed the establishment of an international climate club, which should serve to develop common minimum standards for climate policy measures and a coordinated approach. In addition, uniform rules for the carbon accounting of goods should apply among members as part of the coalition agreement that led to Scholz becoming chancellor. The Social Democrats, Free Democrats, and Green Party agreed to accelerate Germany phase out of coal to the year 2030 in line with the target set by the Powering Past Coal Alliance. The country's previous target had been to end the use of coal by 2038. In addition, the agreement set a phase out of power generation from natural gas by 2040. The agreement also included provisions for the prohibition on natural gas heating in new buildings and replacement of natural gas systems in existing buildings, and into the sale of combustion vehicles would come in 2035 in line with the target set by the European Commission. 7. The United Kingdom and Germany. Elon Musk has a strange fixation with trolling Britain in a barrage of posts rife with misinformation. He revived questions about a child sex abuse scandal, vilified the Prime Minister, and defended a jailed far-right agitator. The New York Times. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 non-profit organization. January 3, 2025. He demanded the release of a convicted criminal and far-right agitator. He falsely accused the Prime Minister Keir Starmer of failing to go after child rapists. When he was head of public prosecutions, he endorsed a post calling on King Charles III to dissolve Parliament and call elections to remove Britain's 7-month-old Labour government, a constitutional impossibility. Elon Musk has once again set his sights on Britain in posts that began before 2025. Musk moved on from his enthusiastic boosting of a far-right party in Germany to targeting Britain after mostly ignoring Musk trolling, which has been going on for months. The British government on Friday snapped back, though in polite fashion. The British government representative told reporters some of the criticisms Elon Musk has made are misjudged and misinformed. Britain is one of several European countries where Musk is trying trying to replicate the influence he wielded on behalf of President-elect Trump in the American election last fall in addition to Germany, where his advocacy of a far-right party with neo-Nazi ties Alternative for Germany has roiled that country politics before elections next month. Musk has close ties to Italy. Right-wing Prime Minister in Britain Musk antagonism toward the Labour government is rooted in its aggressive response to hate speech online. Musk has stirred up anger over the government response to a decade-old child sexual abuse scandal in Rotherham. Musk has taken up the cause of Tommy Robinson, a far-right anti-immigrant agitator whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. He has been in prison since October after being convicted of defying a court order by repeating false claims about a teenage Syrian refugee. Robinson has been previously jailed for assault, mortgage fraud, and traveling on a false passport to the United States, where he has sought to establish ties with right-wing groups. Free Tommy Robinson. Musk posted on January 2, 2025, as in Germany, where Musk promotion of the far-right AfD party and provoked a widespread backlash against Musk. British officials hope after the Trump inauguration this month, Musk will be too busy overhauling the American federal government to continue his daily barrage of criticism of Britain and Germany. In the meantime, his online reach affects the political weather. On January 3, 2025, Musk claimed that the Undersecretary for Safeguarding and Violence Against Women and Girls, who has long campaigned for women's rights, was a rape genocide apologist. Language that women rights supporters said jeopardized her safety. Starmer ran the Crown Prosecution Service from 2008 to 2013. When the abuses first came to light, Starmer was complicit in the rape of Britain when he was head of Crown Prosecution for 6 years, Musk said with no evidence in a post on January 5, 2025. In reality, in 2013, in the wake of the scandal, Starmer published new guidelines for how the Crown Prosecution Service should deal with cases of sexual exploitation of children. Having won a landslide parliamentary majority in July, Starmer is in no immediate danger of losing his job, but the drumbeat of disinformation and criticism from Musk, combined with the prospect of him giving money to reform UK, has rattled people across the political spectrum in Britain. Lawmakers have called on the government to tighten laws to restrict foreigners from donating to British political parties. Musk endorsement of posts calling on Charles to step in and call an election betrayed his ignorance of how Britain works.